Remedy Entertainment has finally given us a new update on the sales figures for Alan Wake 2, and they are not that great. In fact, the CEO of Remedy Entertainment says he is not happy that the game is still not profitable after it being released for over a year already. Roll this up over at phantompulse.com. You can find the link in the description below. I encourage you to head on over there, become a subscriber, and join our mailing list so you don't miss any of our articles that we put up every single day. Obviously, I don't cover all of them here on YouTube, so you will be missing stuff out if you are not a subscriber. I also encourage you to become a paid subscriber and help support us in our journalistic endeavors here to bring you the great articles that we do. This is my full-time job, and we are fully reader supported. So this is coming from you. We are skipping all of the advertisers that come with their censorship agenda. So let's get to this here. In a post to X, Remedy announced Alan Wake 2 has sold over 1.8 million units. They also provided some updates on a Control Ultimate Edition, Control 2, and Control just in general, saying that they're going to give a free update to that. But that number right there, that 1.8 million units number, is the big news, I think, coming out of Remedy Entertainment, that the game has sold 1.8 million units, and it still has not broken even. And this was confirmed during a Q&A presentation by Remedy CEO Vrtala. He was questioned about what he thought about the sales for Alan Wake 2, given the fact that they still have not broken even. And this is what he said. I think Alan Wake 2, the sales have two sides. On the one hand, when the game is not yet profitable, are we happy? We are not happy. Every game that we make, especially with this quality level, they should be profitable faster. Again, this game came out at the end of October 2023, over a year ago, still not profitable. And they released a DLC for this game just at the end of last month as well. So even with the DLC, even with the deluxe editions, still not profitable. But he goes on and says this, but then at the same time, the sales of Alan Wake 2 have quite been in line with our original estimates. Yes, our productions didn't quite work as well as they do today. A few years back, in a way, we ended up investing more into the game, and therefore the part set has been higher. So with the higher part set, this, in a way, forecast its sales that we have followed hasn't yet been enough to equal the development costs. So he's basically, long-winded answer, basically saying, yeah, we spent too much and our sales for the game still have not offset the additional costs that we incurred with this game. One has to wonder whether or not those additional costs involved hiring Sweet Baby Inc. We know that Sweet Baby Inc. worked on this game, and if that also had to do with the fact that they decided to race change Alan Wake is supposed to be the primary character, but Saga Anderson, I think, it plays a significant role in this game. So I'm wondering if that had to do with the additional costs. Their embrace of the DEI agenda is what maybe increased their costs. We know that they hired Sweet Baby Inc. We know that they did the race change. Those were things that they had not done before. So I'm wondering if that played a role in the significant higher costs that he's talking about here. He doesn't really say, though. Because he goes on and says this, I wouldn't want to speculate what the long-term possibilities are. Our business cases depend on the game are 3 to 5 years. So there's still a lot of time for Alan Wake 2 to sell. We have seen that Control over 5 years has sold 4.5 million units and continues to sell. So we do think Alan Wake 2 still has a lot of potential ahead of it. So he thinks that within 4 to 5 years, this game could potentially, I guess, be profitable. I'm not sure I agree with him. We did have a Finnish analyst, Ate Riikola. He had previously estimated that the game cost 70 million euros, with 50 million euros going to development and the other 20 million going to marketing. That analysis clearly underestimated how much the company spent on the game, given the base game was retailing at just $50 on the Epic Game Store through a digital purchase. Obviously, now they do have physical copies that you can buy, but those are retailing for $60. For like PlayStation 5 and Xbox XS series, or whatever it's called. And so with 1.8 million units sold, that's about 90 million in revenue. That's just simple $50 times 1.8. You come to around 90 million in revenue, or approximately 85 million euros. So one would think that covers the 70 million cost, both with the marketing and the production combined there, right? So you think that they would be profitable. Obviously, we heard from Vrtala there saying that they overinvested. So who knows how much they overinvested by. Clearly, it looks like they potentially overinvested by 15 million euros more. I mean, this is significant overspend on this game, which then goes back to like, how much are they actually wasting on this DEI agenda? How much is the DEI agenda costing them? Because I think not only is it clearly costing them on the production end, but I think it's actually depressing their sales as well. So that is a huge question. That's a huge question to ask there. Obviously, there are some other factors that would go into this as well. Physical editions for the game are retailing at, as I said, $60, and deluxe versions of the game range from $70 to $80. However, it is currently discounted, the digital version, at least on the Epic Games Store, for just $34.99, and that obviously gets you the DLC. And then they obviously have the DLC, which you can purchase separately from the base game. So that does obviously factor in as well. But I think just doing the 1.8 times 50 gives you a pretty good idea on kind of how much this game basically has kind of gotten with revenue, because I actually think it's probably higher with the deluxe sales and everything like that. Obviously, now they are discounting it, so who knows exactly how much of those discounted prices are going to those units sold, right? I would say it's probably minimal, and we'll get to that, and I'll explain why here in a little bit. So I think regardless, it seems apparent that even selling 1.8 million units is not enough for the game to break even and begin to generate any kind of profit. And then you can see the screenshot here. They're clearly discounting it. It's like $35 now for the deluxe edition, which is actually cheaper than the base game now. Interestingly enough, they didn't discount the base game. They just discounted the deluxe game. Makes absolutely no sense, but it is what it is. While Vrtala is optimistic the game will continue to sell, sales of the game have clearly stagnated. The last time the company had provided sales data for the game was in its business review document for the first quarter in 2024, where it revealed the game had sold 1.3 million units as of the beginning of February. So by the end of January, it had sold 1.3 million units. Again, like I said, this game came out end of October. So again, November, December, January, 3 months, it sold 1.3 million units. That means the game only sold around 500,000 units over the past 10 months. That's an average of just 50,000 units per month. So we're looking at just 500,000 over the last 10 months from February to October, November. Clearly, sales have significantly stagnated for this game in the latter half of its kind of cycle, I guess, release cycle. Remedy had previously, and this puts it even into like more interesting context right here. Remedy had previously revealed it sold 1 million copies by the end of December of 2023, after being released again, like I said, at the end of October 2023. So they only sold 300,000 units in January because they'd already sold 1 million by the end of December. And that's what, like I said, that's November and December. So that's 2 months. They had sold 1 million copies, 300,000 in January. So you saw how that sales had started already declining and stagnating. And this puts it into even more perspective right here. 55% of all sales for the game were conducted in the game's first 2 months. So that 1 million, that's 55% of that total 1.8. And 72%, 1.3 of all sales in the first 3 months after it was released. So it did 72% of its sales in the first 3 months after it was released. So we can say that it's doing on average 50,000 units per month over the last 10 months. But my guess is that it's still probably most of those sales, most of those 500,000 were probably done in February and March. And it's probably a lot less. So like if you look back into like what there's, maybe October had a little bit of a spike because you did see the DLC and everything like that. So maybe you got some people buying the base game, buying the deluxe edition, etc., because of the DLC being released. But I would say, like, if you look back into like September, you look back into August, probably way less than 50,000 units. I would say you're probably seeing maybe upwards of 75, 80,000, maybe in that, maybe even over 100,000 in March or February, but significant declines after that. To kind of get to that average of 50,000. That's kind of what I am surmising there. But even if you do take that 50,000 average and you say that that's actually what it's doing, It still would not achieve 4.5 million units sold over 5 years. It would only hit around 4.2 million units sold. And I still think that is pretty much out of reach, as I said, because I don't think that it's selling 50,000 units. I don't think it sold 50,000 units in September. I think that number is a lot less. And I kind of go into that there in that paragraph, which we just kind of covered. So this is another huge L for Sweet Baby Inc. Shows that people are uninterested in the DEI agenda, and that these video game developers are making really bad decisions by embracing the DEI agenda. They're overspending on these DEI games. I think it's depressing their actual sales, and it ends up losing them a lot of money. And to quote Vrtala here, it makes you not happy. We are not happy, is what he says. It makes you not happy. That is what you get when you embrace the DEI agenda. You get not happy. So let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always speak the truth.